Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is the tutorial to my mind reading and rising card effect. If you've not seen it, click here first and go and watch it, and then come back and have it explained.
The Great Woo, the Great Woo Ding, the Great Woo Ding's gonna do a thing.
So I performed this trick to Dad the other day, the great
Grandad Woo Ding.
and he said, "Oh, sorry, son, that's already been done." Not in the context of a rising card, I don't think. So I'm going to explain it anyway. He don't think Dad knew who it was by. I think it's an old one. If you know someone who's used this kind of this way of doing the trick, post it in the comments and I'll give them credit. But I came up with it, so I'm going to share it with you anyway. Basically, I wanted a rising card that came from the middle, and I've come up with a way to do it that doesn't involve any sticky tape or magnets or invisible thread or anything dodgy. It's just a pack of cards. That's all you need. So I was quite pleased with that. There's no dodgy stuff other than the cards, which of course are massively dodgy. So here's what I've got. I've got, let's get them in the right way around. Oh, that wasn't very nice. Worked really well in the performance and hasn't worked this time. I've got lots of cards that are normal, and you ready for this? A clump of cards with the centres cut out. I plan on coming up with a trick using just these at some point. I've got some in my head and I don't quite know how to do it yet, but that's what you need. You need to cut the centres out of. You could do it with half the pack and then your card would be coming from exactly halfway through. I've got about a third of the pack here just because I couldn't be bothered cutting through more cards. And then you've got to be careful with these or else they do start to go into each other. So you've got to be careful when you shuffle. So just use a sharp knife and just be careful of fingers and thumbs and anything else that you don't want to get scratched or hurts. So yeah, and they don't have to be exactly the same shape, but if they are, it's nicer. So anyway, a third half of your cards cut like so, and then you're ready to do the effect. I think I've used several. I've got loads of these, and I like cutting them up. So I've got the Jack of Spades cut up on the bottom, and from a different pack, I think I've got a Jack of Spades in here, which I like to keep on the bottom. Although it's gone walkies. There he is, Jack of Spades. So Jack of Spades on the bottom of your pack, or you cut out cards but using the same, if you can, same one on top. So I mean, and that won't fool anyone. If you flash it, they're still going to say something dodgy. But that helps me know the cards are reset. So it's just helpful for the performer more than for your spectators. So starting position is that with one or two or three even cover cards on the bottom. So one indifferent card on the bottom of your pack. So now it looks like a normal pack. Yeah, be aware that feels a bit dodgy, but just get used to it in your hand, and it feels pretty normal, to be honest, actually. Anyway, here's how you begin. You begin by shuffling. Don't go too far though, or else you'll end up in your gimmicked cards. So go as far as you dare, and then throw the rest on top. Then you know you've got all your normal cards at the bottom because you've just shuffled them there. So you could even do a little dribble again, but don't dribble them all. So do a little dribble and drop them perhaps. So then possibly, psychologically, they've seen normal cards shuffled off the top and they've seen normal cards dribbled off the bottom. I didn't do that in the performance, but then psychologically, they're all normal cards. Possibly, I don't know. Then simply do a Charlier cut. That will absolutely perfectly, 99% of the time, cut at your stack of cut out cards. And complete the cut. Obviously I'm doing this at a funny angle. Complete the cut in such a way wait, none of your cards go walkie, so let's try that again from the front. And a normal, there you go. Just be confident, just do a normal Charlier cut, and that will bring your stack of cut out ones to the bottom. I'll show you that again. So normal cards on the bottom, so your cut out ones are somewhere in the middle, and if you just do a Charlier cut, just go for it. It will put your stack of cut out ones to the bottom, and look, you'll know you've done it right if you can see your jack and just get a glimpse. If you want to, if you're not confident, just do this little turnover like that, and you can glimpse the bottom card, which is exactly how you get your glimpse in a minute. Wow, that's how the mind reading works. So they pick a card, any card, make them pick a card from the top. I'm sorry, I've got no advice about that. Just make them pick one of those. Sorry. Let's say they have that one, and I'm not going to look at it. Whilst they are looking at it, whilst they are holding it, you get a break in between your gimmicked cards and your pack. The best way to do it is shove your finger in. So you pop your finger in there, and those cards will fall off, and then, doing this from a silly angle, but once you've got that, you can then shove your little finger in the break like you'd normally have it. And that does feel a bit awkward. So ideally you want to do that whilst they're looking at your card. Finger in to finger, finger in, and then transfer it to a little finger break. Index finger finds it, little finger holds it. There you go. And it happens this quickly. So give them the card, say have a look at that, and you've got your break. Just being aware that your index finger could get trapped. So practice it a few times so it can eventually be as smooth as this. But they'll be looking at their card anyway. Take it back. Guess where you're going to put it? In your break. In it goes, and then you can immediately hold your cards flat and push it in quite visually. In it goes. Down to the table, if you have a table. If not, just keep it in your hand. So then, that card is, guess where it is? There it is. All you have to do is get that exact same glimpse, and you can see their card, because there it is. Now, you won't be able to see the index corners, so you can't see the number 4, but you know it's the 4 of clubs. And that, if you cut your cards in the exact same way I have, that will be obvious. Any card, every single card in the pack will be and can be identified through that gap, just by counting your pips. And you don't even need to count them. You'll be surprised how you can just do a quick glimpse and you'll know straight away. Oh, it's the 9 of diamonds, whatever. You just practice it a few times. It's obvious. So there you go. You get your glimpse, and then you do your mind reading. 4 of clubs. Well, hey, and then you go for the rise, which is literally putting your thumb in and pushing up. That's it. Push your thumb in and push up. And there you go. That's the effect. Obviously, you want it to make it as smooth as possible, so it doesn't look like you. And it might go off to the side. And actually, if it does go off to the side, that's better, because then they've got a better angle of seeing this, and they can see that it is definitely coming from the middle. Yeah. There you go. And then to clean up, if you want to just shuffle a few off, drop it back on. So now you've got a couple of cards again on the bottom and on the top, and your gimmicked cards are all in the middle. And that's the effect. I've got some in my head, and I'll work them out and show them to you in a few days or a few weeks, involving how I can use this pack of cards for a variety of different effects. So yeah, look forward to that. But for now, I have been Mark Wooding, or the Great Woo.
The Great Woo, the Great Woo Ding, the Great Woo Ding just did a thing.
Hope that was filming.